Sound of gasping, accelerated breathing. What if I told you that everything you've been running from is exactly what you need to chase? The voice echoes while rapid images appear on screen, hands shaking violently, sweat dripping down someone's face, eyes wide open with pure fear. The most dangerous lie you've ever been told is that comfort equals safety. Cut to a person sitting on a couch, staring at their phone, expression empty and dead inside. But here's the truth they don't want you to know. Your mind is a beast, and you've been feeding it the wrong food your entire life. The camera slowly approaches the face of a man in his early 30s, sunken eyes, tired expression. This is Marcus. 3 years ago, he had everything. A brilliant career, relationships, health. But something was wrong. Something was eating him alive from the inside. Flashback images show Marcus in his luxurious office, smiling at colleagues. But when he's alone, his face crumbles. Every morning, he woke up with this crushing weight on his chest. This voice in his head telling him he wasn't enough, that he was failing, that everything was falling apart. He tried everything to make it stop. Meditation apps, therapy, self-help books, medication. Nothing worked. One day, Marcus found himself standing on a bridge at 3 in the morning, staring down at the dark water below. He wasn't suicidal, but he was desperate to feel something different, anything different. And that's when it hit him, the realization that changed everything. He wasn't suffering because something was wrong with him. He was suffering because he had been running from discomfort his entire life. Every time anxiety appeared, he tried to push it away, numb it, escape it. Every time fear showed up, he looked for the nearest exit, and in doing so, he had trained his mind to see discomfort as the enemy. But what if discomfort wasn't the enemy? What if it was the teacher? Marcus remembered something his grandfather told him before he died. Son, a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. At the time, he thought it was just another old man's wisdom, meaningless words. But standing on that bridge, those words hit different. They hit like a lightning bolt straight through his chest. He realized that every single moment of growth in his life, every breakthrough, every transformation, came from periods of intense discomfort. When he learned to walk as a child, it was uncomfortable. When he learned to read, to write, to speak in public, to ask someone out on a date, all of it was uncomfortable. And yet, he did it. He pushed through. But somewhere along the way, he forgot this fundamental truth. Marcus made a decision that night, a decision that terrified him more than anything he'd ever done. He decided to stop running. He decided to turn around and face the beast. The next morning, instead of reaching for his phone the moment anxiety hit, he sat with it. He let it wash over him like a wave, feeling every sensation, every racing thought, every spike of adrenaline. And something miraculous happened. The anxiety didn't kill him. It didn't destroy him. It peaked, and then it passed. Like a wave crashing on the shore. It came, and it went. For the first time in years, Marcus felt something he had almost forgotten existed. Control. But this wasn't a fairy tale ending where everything suddenly became perfect. This was just the beginning. Marcus started small. He began taking cold showers every morning, forcing himself to stay under the freezing water for 60 seconds. Breathing through the discomfort, teaching his mind that he could survive what felt unbearable. He started running, not because he enjoyed it, but because it was hard. Because his lungs burned and his legs screamed and his mind begged him to stop. And every single time, he pushed through. Every single time, he chose discomfort over comfort. Something shifted inside him. His mind was learning a new pattern, a new truth. Discomfort is not dangerous. It's just uncomfortable. The transformation didn't happen overnight. There were days Marcus failed, days he fell back into old patterns, days he wanted to give up completely. But he kept going. He started seeking out discomfort intentionally, deliberately. He had difficult conversations he'd been avoiding for years. He ended a relationship that was comfortable but dead. He quit his high-paying job to start his own business, even though it terrified him. And with each decision, with each step into the unknown, His mind grew stronger, more resilient, more powerful. 6 months into this journey, Marcus noticed something strange. The anxiety that used to cripple him was still there, but it felt different. It felt like information, like energy, like fuel. Instead of being paralyzed by fear before a big presentation, he felt alive, sharp, focused. The same nervous system response that used to shut him down was now powering him up. His mind had been rewired. The beast had been tamed, not by fighting it, not by medicating it, not by running from it, but by befriending it, by understanding it, by learning to dance with it. Marcus started sharing his story online, thinking maybe it would help 1 or 2 people. Within weeks, his message exploded. Thousands of people reached out, all saying the same thing. I thought I was the only one. I thought something was broken inside me. I've been running my entire life and I'm exhausted. Marcus realized he had stumbled onto something profound, something that modern society had completely forgotten. We live in a world that worships comfort. We have apps to avoid human interaction, pills to avoid feeling emotions, entertainment to avoid boredom, food delivery to avoid hunger, climate control to avoid temperature discomfort. We've engineered comfort into every corner of existence, and we're more anxious, more depressed, more mentally fragile than ever before in human history. The paradox was crystal clear. The more we avoid discomfort, the more we suffer. The more we seek comfort, the weaker we become. Our minds are like muscles. They need resistance to grow stronger. They need challenge to develop resilience. When we protect ourselves from every hardship, every struggle, every moment of discomfort, we don't create safety. We create fragility. We create minds that shatter at the slightest pressure, that panic at the smallest obstacle, that collapse under the weight of normal human challenges. Marcus dove deeper into research, discovering that ancient wisdom traditions had known this truth for thousands of years. Stoic philosophers deliberately practiced discomfort, sleeping on hard floors, fasting regularly, exposing themselves to cold and heat. Buddhist monks meditated in caves, sat in uncomfortable positions for hours, trained their minds through voluntary suffering. Warriors throughout history understood that comfort was the enemy of strength, that ease was the path to weakness. Modern science was now confirming what the ancients knew. Controlled exposure to stress makes us stronger, builds resilience, rewires the nervous system for greater capacity. But here's where the story takes a turn. Here's where everything Marcus thought he knew got flipped upside down. 1 year into his transformation, feeling stronger and more in control than ever before, Marcus received a phone call that shattered his world. His younger sister had been in a car accident. She was alive, but barely. In a coma, the doctors didn't know if she would wake up. Suddenly, all of Marcus's training, all of his practice with discomfort, was put to the ultimate test. This wasn't chosen discomfort. This wasn't a cold shower or a difficult conversation. This was real suffering, involuntary, devastating, unbearable. Marcus spent weeks in that hospital, watching his sister's chest rise and fall with mechanical breathing, holding her hand, talking to her motionless body, hoping she could hear him. And in those moments, he discovered something that no amount of cold showers or meditation could have taught him. There are 2 types of discomfort in life. There's the discomfort we choose, the challenges we embrace, the resistance we seek out to grow stronger. And then there's the discomfort life throws at us, the suffering we don't choose, the pain that finds us whether we're ready or not. What Marcus realized, sitting in that hospital room, was that all of his training wasn't about eliminating suffering or becoming immune to pain. It was about building the capacity to hold it, to be with it, to not be destroyed by it. When his sister finally woke up 3 weeks later, confused and scared but alive, Marcus broke down and cried for the first time in years. Not tears of weakness, but tears of release, of gratitude, of profound understanding. He had spent a year training his mind to be comfortable with discomfort, but life had just taught him why the training mattered. It wasn't so he could be tough or impressive or immune to emotion. It was so that when real suffering arrived, when life delivered its inevitable blows, he would have the strength to stay present, to stay loving, to stay human, instead of collapsing or running away. It's about expanding your capacity to feel everything more deeply, more fully, without being controlled by it. It's about being able to lose your job and feel the fear without being paralyzed by it. It is about being able to fall in love and risk heartbreak because you're raised strong enough to survive if it doesn't work out. The purpose of finding comfort in discomfort isn't to become cold or hard or invincible. It's to become more alive, more present, more capable of experiencing the full spectrum of human existence without being destroyed by it. Marcus's message evolved. He stopped talking just about cold showers and challenging workouts. He started talking about the deeper truth that life will test you, that suffering is guaranteed, that loss and pain and heartbreak are part of the deal of being human. The question isn't whether you'll face discomfort. The question is whether you'll be strong enough to face it with grace, with presence, with an open heart instead of a closed fist. And the only way to build that strength is through practice, through deliberately choosing small discomforts every single day, so that when life delivers the big ones, you're ready. Today, Marcus runs a program that has helped tens of thousands of people transform their relationship with discomfort. But he is careful to tell everyone the same thing he learned in that hospital. This isn't about becoming superhuman or transcending your humanity. It's about becoming more fully human, more capable of feeling everything, surviving everything, loving everything, despite how much it might hurt. The beast in your mind will never be fully tamed, and that's not the goal. The goal is to learn to ride it, to dance with it, to let it make you stronger instead of letting it make you smaller. The screen fades to black. Marcus's voice comes through one final time. Quiet but powerful, your mind is the most powerful force in your existence. It will either be your greatest weapon or your worst enemy. The difference isn't in what you feel. It's in what you do with what you feel. Stop running from discomfort. Stop seeking escape. Turn around, face the beast, and watch what you become when you finally stop being afraid of yourself. That's how you master your mind, not by controlling it, but by expanding it, not by avoiding pain, but by building the capacity to hold it. Find comfort in discomfort, and you won't just survive life, you'll truly live it.